sweets, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna do my Sephora haul. I have sat down and we are gonna go through everything that, well, almost everything, because I got two palettes and one of them I think there is no longer available. I think it was the last ones that my local Sephora had because I didn't order it online. I went there. I think that one of them, it is no longer available, but let's just go through everything. I wanted to grab a couple of things from Nars, which I got the Nars Light Reflecting Setting Powder in a pressed version. I got the Nars Soft Matte Complete Concealer. This is in the shade Medium 1. I got the Nars Soft Matte Foundation in the shade Fiji or Light 5. And this is Custard. The other complexion product that I got, it is this Dior Backstage Face and Body Powder, no powder. This is in the shade 2N. I got the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Primrose palette for face and eyes. This is the one that I think that is no longer available. I think it was that my local Sephora had a couple of them. And to be perfectly honest, what really got me was the packaging. I love this marble caramel color. Awesome. And the color story of it. It is a neutral everyday with a little bit of a pop of colors here that, yeah, I wanted to try it. I caved and I got the Too Faced Cocoa Contour palette. And last but not least, I got this Makeup Forever. This is the shade Endless Cacao. I almost have an entire face makeup. So yeah, what I don't have, I'm gonna fill in, and you know how it goes. So let's just start. Oh, and my bad, I got from Ilia. This is a liquid chromatic eye tint. And the shade, it is this amazing grayish taupe shade that I don't remember from who I saw it, and I really want it. So it is really easy to blend. It sets not fast, but it really sets. So this is an lazy girl kind of makeup. So yeah, and that is the reflection that you get from. I have already done my morning routine. I'm just going to use a moisturizer / primer just to make sure that everything is nice and prep. Since this is a soft matte, I want to make sure that it doesn't mattify too much my complexion. I'm not into full mattes. I can use a soft matte or a finish that it would turn to be a natural one. So yeah, as I said, I got the soft matte in the shade Fiji. This is the actual packaging of the foundation, and it is a dropper. It is more liquid than what I thought it would, but nonetheless that translates that it should be a very lightweight foundation. I'm all in. Just a couple of dots. I'm gonna use this Alamar Cosmetics to blend it into my complexion. I have a normal skin type. Also, I'm not into full coverage foundations. So usually I will try to apply my foundation in a very light manner. Sometimes I don't mind to build it up, but I rather not. I'm going to wait because I was going to say that I think this is too light for myself, but the sales associate at Sephora said that this oxidized, why we chose this shade instead of going a little bit more darker. So I'm gonna wait a little bit just to see if it oxidized as much as I needed to make sure that it is the shade that I would normally go for. And so far it looks really, really good, but still I need it to be a little touch darker, and it is at the moment. The name it is accurate. The coverage, a light medium, but remember that the way that I apply it, it was a really thin layer and I buffed it into my complexion. I didn't stipple it if you want to get more coverage from your foundation. But yeah, I like this. I really like this. And the reflection of the light shows a little bit of luminosity or a little bit of radiance from my skin, which is just the prep that I did for my complexion. It has nothing to do with the foundation itself. Now we're gonna go for the soft matte concealer. It comes in a pod. I'm gonna use this brush, but since it is fluffy, I think this would help me with the blending. I'm going to work it into the bristles of the brush first on the back of my hand to make sure that all the bristles are evenly coated. And now that I have that, I'm going to press it into my skin. And wow, finally I get the raving of this product. And Nars is having a sale, and yeah, I think I'm gonna grab a lighter shade. I'm not into highlighting my under eye. I just want to have an even skin tone and to hide or conceal the darkness that I have in this area here, which is very prominent. But I think I'm going to succumb to this. It is such, I love how it looks. Look at the difference between one and the other, and I didn't apply as much as you saw. The way that I apply it, I coated the bristles, and what I had left over in my brush is the product that I work on my skin, and this is how it's looking so far. Now I'm gonna set my under eye and my complexion. I live in a tropical island and the humidity here is extremely high. This is how the pressed version of the powder comes. It has a puff and the plasticky something to put the puff over it. And also it has a really size mirror. I'm gonna use this Alamar Cosmetics brightening brush. Wow, it is so soft and silky. You think that you are not getting any product at all. But oh, I grab a lot in my brush, so let me just try to tap the excess of it. And so far so good. I really like this powder. I'm gonna use this MAC 150 brush to take from the pan and just breeze through my entire complexion with it. I'm really impressed with this so far. Now I'm gonna go for the Too Faced Cocoa Contour palette. This has been in the market for a really long time. Also the Nars powder, and it is a cult classic, the concealer. This is how the palette looks in the inside and has a mirror as well in the other. I think I'm gonna use a little bit of the light highlighting just in this area here of my under eye, remembering that I have 2 new products, or everything that I'm trying so far, it is new. So I don't want to like fuss a lot with them. It's just to see if it does something or not. I'm using the other side of the same brush that I use for setting. And it really does something. It is a little bit lighter. I'm gonna use the medium contour shade, which is this one here. And that deep highlighting, I can use it as a blush in myself, but not today because I want to use the offering that has the palette from Anastasia. So I have already coated my brush and really carefully in the hollows of my cheek. Now that we have that covered, I'm gonna go to the Anastasia Beverly Hills Primrose palette. This is the last one that they launched. This is the actual palette, and this is her color story. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with my eyes. So just to be in the safe zone, I'm going to use both shades. I'm going to use a grapefruit in the area near my nose, and I'm going to use saddle in the back of my cheekbone. And with a soft touch, I'm going to apply it in a lift and matter. And now I'm going to go to saddle, just a touch in the back of my cheekbone. Now, since I have basically finished my entire complexion, I'm going to go to the Dior Backstage Face and Body Powder, No Powder. And this is the packaging, and this is how the product looks. I'm going to use this contour brush just to press a little bit of this powder in myself, especially in the area where I have said that I have a little bit of big pores. Just, I'm going to press it. I can say that my pores are blurred, that you don't see them, because that is a lie. But what I can do say that they look a little bit filtered, and that's, yeah, I like that. Now we're gonna go for eyes, and I'm going to start with the shade Honey. It has kick up in the pan. It is a matte shade, and also it is customary for Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadows to be really soft and have a lot of kick up in the pan. I'm going to place this eyeshadow in the outside half of my eye. And now what I have left over in my brush is what I'm going to work to buff this. I think I'm gonna work one eye first entirely, and then I'm gonna do the other one, because I really want to see how it's going to look finished. So since I started this here, I'm going to just blend what I have applied, and I'm gonna stick to this eye. I'm gonna go to the shade Mango just to try it and see. And this one, I'm going to place it here in my mobile lid. And I think I'm gonna go to the shade Sparkling Amber with my finger. And this one is also really soft to the touch. It has a little bit of kick up in the pan. And this one, I'm going to place it really near that last shade that I applied, which was Mango. And I'm gonna go to Rose Water, which is this, and this one. Wow, this shade, it is kind of a duochrome shade. Now I'm gonna use the shade Primrose, which is the name of the palette. It is kind of a violet lilac shade, and I'm gonna use it in my bottom part. It is a matte shade, but it has a little specks of glitter in it. And I'm going to apply it all over my bottom lashes. Going a little bit lower in the beginning part, or the first half of my bottom lashes, and just a touch in my ending or outer part. And I'm going to extend it, and I'm going to use the shade Deep Berry. I'm using an angled brush for it. And what I started in my bottom, I'm going to finish it towards my top. And I'm doing it with my eye open because, as I said a couple of times, I have downturned eye, kind of the same as a hooded one. And I have to work with a little bit of a foil that I have. I have done my entire makeup. I apply a Clinique lipstick. This is in the shade 01 Nude Pop. And I'm gonna use the last product that I bought on my Sephora purchase. This is the Endless Cacao from Makeup Forever. Now I'm gonna soften the edges a little bit with my finger. So tweaks, I'm gonna go over everything that I bought and used in this look and tell you what I think so far. I'm gonna go in the order that I used them. So it was the complexion stuff first. I used the Nars Soft Matte Complete Foundation. I love how she is looking so far. The girl from the counter, she was right, but still, I think I can look for a shade that is a little more darker because I'm really pale at the moment. So in the summertime or when I start taking a little bit of more sun, I will need a darker shade than this. But I love how my complexion is looking so far with this foundation. It really, really is an awesome, extremely natural finished. From there we went for the concealer. I love the concealer so far. He is looking amazing, the same as it did when I apply it. It gives a lot of coverage. I used just a light touch of it and you saw how it really covered my darkness and this crevice here, which is the problematic area in my under eye. Then we went for the pressed powder, and this surprised me a lot. Firstly, because how it behaves. I didn't have any kick up in the pan. The pan looks like I never touch it. And I set my under eye. It didn't change the color of my concealer. It didn't add any more coverage to my under eye. I set my entire complexion extremely light hand and it really did the job. So yeah, this was really good. Also the Dior Backstage, I like how it looks in the complexion, but I don't think that the blur part of it, no, I didn't see any blurring. I can say that it gives kind of a soft filter to the complexion. I use it mainly in this area where I have my larger pores or where I think that my pores, you can actually see them a lot, and it really has this a little bit of radiance that it gives you a healthy, nice, finished. The other product that I use, it is a Too Faced Contour Cocoa Contour Palette. I really like this. I thought at first that I was, let's just say that I was going to just throw away my money, but it really did a good job, especially in the under eye area that it brightened it, and how easy it was to apply the contour and how soft blended it look. So yeah, this one, thumbs up. The other products that I used were this two for my blush, and this is how amazingly good it looks. Both of them really good pigment, really easy to work with. The only downside, and for me it isn't, it's just something that it happened, it has kick up in the pan, so be careful with that. Start slow because Anastasia Beverly Hills has a thing for really good pigmentation. Then I went for the eyeshadow look that I have in my eyes that I'm enjoying a lot. I mainly use the first row, which is I think the lightest one, and from the second row I only use the darkest shade in the palette, which is Deep Berry, and I love the look that I got in my eyes. I tightline my lashes, I apply mascara, and I put on some falsies, and the last thing that you saw, which was the lining part of my lips, that I use the Endless Cacao from Makeup Forever, and this is how we look. And also I tap a little bit of the eyeshadows on my lips to try to do the matchy thing from my eyes to my lips, and this is everything. So it's, I hope you like it, and if you did, please press the like button. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. I really appreciate it. Bye.